Exposition. Is my mic up? Okay.
Hello.
Just want to make sure. Welcome to Exposition. This is a show about arts, crafts, and the art scene in Southeast Ohio.
Woohoo!
Welcome. I'm Mike Thompson. Valerie Thomas here with us.
Hello.
Is anything new in the park or at the Artisan Market and Studio?
Just tons of classes. You'll have to check out our website and our Facebook pages and keep adding new classes. And we're so pleased with all the artisans that have been willing to teach what they make. And it's getting really exciting with the diversity of the classes that we're offering. And of course, you know, new products all the time coming in the shop. And we're talking about a fall festival in the park, but I think we're going to wait till next year.
What will be the direction of a fall festival? Because I know we got the St. Patty's Day Celtic thing in the spring.
Yes. I think it's going to be a color run walk at the park front, if we can arrange that with the city.
How far are they supposed to run?
It's like, I think it's color mile. Color mile.
Okay.
Mile. It's
Okay, because I'm not running any farther than the park.
No, I wouldn't run. I would walk anyway. Yes.
I'll walk quickly.
We'll do our speed walking. Yes. So something like that next fall. But yes. So they'll just check out our web pages and see what we have to offer in our classes, and come visit us at the shop or paint at the studio.
And speaking of classes, we have a person here that offers 2 or 3 different types of classes, right?
Yes, she does. She is just amazing. She's amazing.
Okay.
We love her.
Who do we have?
We have Tracy French Polcyn, and we've had her on the show before.
She was
Do
doing
you remember?
glass work with
Do you remember? Yes.
Right?
Yes, you remember. He remembers. She does stained glass, and today she's going to be talking about how she does the Wilton cake decorating classes. 3 different
The only thing
courses.
I forgot to ask before was how you get the stains out of your glass.
Oh, Mike.
And so on we go.
Oh my gosh, Mike.
Okay, but today we're talking cakes and
Cakes.
decorating. Not so much the making of the cake part, but the decorating part.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Tracy and the cakes and the decorating.
Yes. So we actually offer 3 courses, and I do them at the Artisan Shoppe Studio.
Yay!
1 course is in buttercream, so you have a lot of buttercream flowers and borders, that sort of thing. Generally, people like buttercream on their cakes. If they
Is
don't
that
do a
course
whipped
1?
icing, that's course 1.
Okay.
And the course 2 is royal flowers, so that would be more of a flower or an icing that stiffens up really quickly. And if you think of Easter time, whenever you have the Easter rabbit, you know, the chocolate rabbit, that sort of thing, and all those little hard flowers that go around on everything, that's the kind of thing that you're looking at with the royal. And then the 3rd course is fondant. So you're doing a lot of cutting out with cutters and molds and doing textures and letting those things dry and then pasting them together. And that's where you get a lot of your sculpture work.
What's
also.
fondant?
Fondant is basically, it's like a liquid sugar mixed with a little more sugar is basically what it is.
Wow.
But it makes a nice little sort of a clay sort of a thing is what you'd compare it to, except for it tastes a lot better.
Cool. I can't believe you can like pick up icing and it stays like that.
Yeah, well,
That
it's
is
supposed
crazy.
to.
To me, that would be the more creative thing,
Yeah.
because you can.
In a lot of
would
ways it
fit
is,
into-
because
I
you
guess
can
fold
do
it
a lot
like
of
paper or whatever.
Yeah, and you can make, you know, figurines, that sort of thing. That's if that's what you're into, then
And it'll stand.
yeah,
more on
it stands
itself.
because it dries. I mean, you mix it with a gum paste, so it'll dry really quickly. But it's also because you roll a lot of it thinly, it might be maybe a little more brittle, or it takes a long time to dry because, you know, it's so thick that you have to get all the way to the center before you do anything with it. So.
But you need the other kind of icing to kind of bring it all together.
Well, I think
don't
the
you?
other kind of icing for me is more of a skill than the fondant, because you can basically, if you can see it, you can do it, sort of a thing in my mind with fondant. But with the buttercream and the royal, you actually have to have a little bit of skill and technique and that sort of thing to develop what you want to, the scene that you want.
Yes.
Is there a difference between the icing that you would get in the little pre-made plastic things?
It's a lot softer.
It's softer than that?
In the cups
Okay,
that
that's
you
soft.
buy, that is softer.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
I
a
was
lot
wondering
softer,
if
so
you
it's not going
make
to hold a
your icing
form.
differently.
Yeah, you do. You do. I think it's a lot more. Well, for me, I mean, I hand mix it, so it's a lot of powdered sugar, but it will keep its form a lot better.
Sure smells good.
Smells like
And this is the
chocolate
non-fattening
caramel.
icing, right?
No. But they do. No.
You seem pretty
no,
sure about
not
that.
at all. But they do have some that you can do with the sugar substitutes, that sort of thing, and that's wildly available on the internet, as most things are. So, yeah,
Okay.
if you need to go that route, or you could just do, no icing on the sides and reduce it at least.
Okay.
So,
Include that icing, that's what I'm saying.
well, it's sugar.
It's the best part of the cake.
I know.
No. Oh.
I'm just ready to take those tubes.
So how do you, the first one is buttercream icing.
Course 1, buttercream icing.
What
Yes.
do you do with that?
With the buttercream, we go over the basic torting a cake, which means putting it into those thin layers, and we do filling it. So we cover the basics. We do the icing of the cake to make it all smooth so that you can do what you want, and then we do some different flowers. We do a rose, a quarter rose, just a variety of different flowers that you would have that would stand, in.
Are those things that you would
Light duty
do
conditions.
separately or on
Yeah.
the cake?
Well, you can do them separately. They have what they call the flower nail or the rose nail that you can work off of. But, I mean, there's a tendency to just do it on the cake so long as you have something that you can move the cake around easily with.
Because in the
That's what,
transfer,
that's what matters more than anything. Do a lot of wax paper work so that you can
Okay,
pop it back off of there.
that's right.
The only thing I've done is just go,
Yeah,
Done.
I just, yeah. Yeah.
That's on one slice.
It's got 7 blobs.
Good. It's good to go.
It's good. None of that coming from Tracy, that's for sure.
The Thomas
is there a
method.
secret to writing?
Just a steady hand and take time. The icing, actually, there are 3 consistencies. There's a really stiff, and there's a medium, and then there's a soft or a thin. They'll call it thin if you do the Wilton. But it's really just a steady hand. They say that you should take a toothpick, at least that's how we teach it, is that you take a toothpick and you draw out or write out everything that you need to do before you get started. And then if your icing is thin enough, it will go where you want it to go. And if it doesn't, then you just wait a few minutes and scrape it back off and go again.
The only thing I could
Just a
say
cake.
is pay attention to what people ask for.
Spell it correctly.
Yeah,
that what you
when-
mean?
when somebody made a cake for mine and Deb's party that we had after we got married, I said, "Congratulations, Deb and Rick."
Oh, how exciting. Who's Rick?
Because something
Gosh,
you haven't
Deb.
told me.
Oh, my goodness.
What in the world, Deb?
You got away with it again. Congratulations. Even today.
Oh my God.
That's horrifying.
Terrible.
That's absolutely horrifying.
It was a small group, so it was just funny.
Eat that part right now.
Yes. Yes. Oh, my goodness.
I almost jinxed you. I was going to say the same thing. Okay.
Okay, class number 2.
Class number. Course.
Course number 2
okay.
Course
is
number 2.
a royal icing course. The difference is it's more of a meringue sort of a thing. So it stiffens up really quickly and it dries. And once it dries, those are things that you can put on the buttercream once they're dried and it won't deteriorate. You can also just kind of save them back. Those are items that they never go away. So I know there are actually cake decorators out there who, and I don't do this, but I know it comes in handy. They will make roses far in advance and leave them, in a sealed container in a cabinet or something to stay away from the light.
Really?
And then they just pop them out when they need
Yeah,
them.
room temperature?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. I thought maybe you had to freeze it or something.
No.
Oh, and
The buttercream you have to worry about, because high humidity and heat will affect buttercream, and there are different recipes out there to combat that, they say. But it doesn't, it doesn't always hold up, especially in the extreme heat. But with Royal, you can really get the effect that you want. Things are good and stiff and peak where you need them to peak.
So can you make things thinner and they not like fold over? Is that the deal with it, or?
Yeah, you can. I mean, things will stand up. I've got possibly here. If you look at the Royal, and this is totally wrong, the way I'm doing this, but
wow,
that's so amazing.
But if you would do this, you see how everything just kind of stands kind of the way you want it to. Maybe it does.
My handbag's hit.
And it looks like you've mixed a couple different colors in that.
Isn't that
Yeah, I think it looks more realistic
Yeah.
whenever you do that. Anyway, if we would have it on,
It came right on. Oh my goodness.
if we would have had it on the wax paper, it would have held its form a little bit better. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, okay.
So you see the petals will stand up, leaves will stand up better, things will hold a much nicer form. And this just takes a little while. By the time we're done with the show, it'll probably be pretty stiff. So let me just mess up the entire thing here. Yay.
Yeah, we don't have another show after this.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing because they'd be battling icing. So lucky
Too bad I
them.
didn't bring my dog into this one. He'd be all over this.
Take it
counter.
home. Take it home. Let him have it all.
Sugar's not great for dogs.
Oh, no, but little bits. I have a Cocker Spaniel that has a sweet tooth. She actually jumped up one day. I forgot to put the syrup away. She jumped up on the kitchen table and she ate through the syrup bottle. So
Wow.
it's exciting.
Wow.
Yes, she's
That's a mess.
major sweet tooth. We have to watch. She'll guard the Easter candy and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, bless her heart. Little Raja.
How long do these courses last?
They are 4-week courses, and there are 4 classes, so you have to kind of be ready to commit to a class, and we're kind of working with that right now to see if maybe we can do all course classes in one day. So
Okay.
you'd take
So like
course one
one
maybe on a
course.
Saturday, and do all 3 of the classes, because the classes are 2-hour classes.
Oh, okay.
So it
That's why
takes a
you
little bit of
specified
time.
course. 'Cause I was thinking a class.
Yeah, there are 4 classes for every course, but that 4th
Okay.
class is actually decorating your cake to say, look at what I've learned during the course.
Okay.
So what we did last time was we did the 3 classes, and then the 4th class we said, you know what, it's easier and less pressure if you do it at the house rather than having somebody like me hanging over you, sort of an idea, and maybe not have things at your disposal that you would want from the house. So they actually just texted pictures in or Facebooked their pictures of their final cakes.
Okay.
And then
And no copies, they were theirs. They were good.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, oh, they were
great.
beautiful. They did just, I wish I would have included those pictures.
And after they finish all the courses, all 3 courses, then they get a certificate.
They get certificates at the end of each course.
at the end of
Yeah,
each course.
at the end of each course,
Yes.
because they don't have to take all 3 courses. They can
Okay.
take whatever course they want. But whenever they're finished with all 3 courses, then they have the opportunity to go through a little bit of training and become an instructor if that's what they would choose to do.
That's amazing.
Or they
So
can
is
just
that
start
like a
their own
Wilton
business.
Yes.
certification? Or
Wilton
is it-
certification, right.
Wow. That's
Yep,
so good.
they
Like you
get-
were saying, without having to go to culinary school. Or
Right, and they just
you-
get in the Wilton database at that point, and so they have some more things available to them, ideas, kits. They actually do curriculum through Wilton, and so, people would have step-by-steps and that sort of thing to follow to be able to be successful with whatever they chose to do.
Yes.
So how much equipment does it take to decorate a cake?
It depends on what you want.
Which,
Mike, what do you want?
are you talking the mixer to mix up the icing, or the different tips and all that kind of stuff?
You need the mixer, you're going to need bags, you're going to need tips. Of course, we recommend couplers, which would look like this right here so that you can switch your tips out really quickly. My icing is green.
Yeah. It's invisible icing.
It's
magic.
It's the
Hold it up
latest
and visit.
thing.
There it is.
It's
Look
for
at-
Halloween. So just so you know.
Makes your whole cake
it's,
disappear.
Yeah, that way you don't have to share
Well, really,
with
Tracy
anybody else.
is a superhero.
Nobody sees it.
You're a superhero, and you can go invisible.
Yes,
Where you
don't tell
want.
anybody that.
Yeah. Oh,
We're not supposed to tell.
I'm so sorry.
Now
Darn
everyone
it.
knows.
Dag nabbit.
So,
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay,
So they in the kits they actually supply all of that, and I just sell the kits at cost because it's a lot more important that I just enjoy teaching it, to be honest, more than anything. So, but all the couplers and the bags and all that stuff, all that is in there with the exception of the mixer.
Okay.
You know what I was fascinated with is how it all started. How did it become a Wilton? What does that
because
mean?
the guy, Mr. Wilton, actually did cake decorating, and he wanted to learn more, and he went abroad and he studied. He went to France and picked up some things from culinary schools. I mean, he was very into it. But when he came back, he felt like he really wanted to share. He had a passion for it, wanted to share out what he had learned, and so he actually went door to door teaching. And then in his community, he's from Chicago, or the Chicago area, outside of it a little bit, but he actually started doing classes and then developed a school with curriculum and all that, and it's just progressed as time has gone on.
Yeah, that's amazing. You don't even think of things like that when you're eating a cake. You just eat the cake.
And that is
you don't
a
think
nice
there's
thing.
a history behind it.
And I tell my students that, they decorate the cake and they pull things back off and they put things back on and they try really hard and they do. I mean, they really have. I've been impressed with what they've done. But, they do all this work, and in the end, whenever you take a cake, 9 out of 10 times somebody's going to say, great, the cake, put it over there.
Yeah.
So you go through hours of trying to get it
Yes.
right and this and that and whatever, and somebody's
they
like,
didn't even look at it.
right over there. That's where it
Yeah.
goes. I'm like, great, okay.
Okay,
Put it
thanks
down,
so much.
stack it, and I'm
Appreciate
gone.
ya.
Okay, yeah, have fun.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's great. But
That's
I mean,
I
and it's the
know.
way it should be, because the celebration is not about the cake, but it is kind of funny sometimes.
Yes, all the
Once I started getting into
time.
decorating them, and I was so fussy and tried to get things, exactly like this, or somebody
a-
said, I want exactly this color and all of that, and you get into all of those things.
It's a piece of
Some of those things
art.
are weird.
You've created
It is, and it's just
You're
like
an
over
artisan
there.
cake making and icing and the decorating and it
Well,
is,
I'm
I
a
know.
photographer and videographer, so don't worry. We take a lot of pictures of the
You
work.
get the cake. Oh, I know. Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
Close-ups and
Absolutely.
everything.
Yes.
Gosh, that's
So
thank
it's
goodness.
not wasted on
No, and people do look
Yes.
back, and I mean they do want particular things, and they want them to, be exactly right. So I guess whenever somebody says cake goes over there, it's a relief that cake looks like, they wanted
don't
it to.
even-
Nobody's upset over the cake.
They don't take issue with it. They're not gonna
Right.
get,
Yeah, that
get
is
you
not
in
my
big
cake.
trouble. Yes.
Until somebody knocks it over.
Goodness.
Yes. No,
Yes.
it's Mike.
I was
some
the
of the
one where
things you
that
talk
happened.
about are so
Oh, my
negative.
goodness.
You don't have to be
That's
so negative.
mortifying.
It is. See, it turns our stomachs, and we just.
Well, and there was the discussion of, delivering those cakes. You always
Yes.
want to, it's just one of those control things. You got to have control of what happens, and you think you have
Right.
control. So if somebody
This
knocked it over, I don't
represents
know what I would
you.
do. I guess I would just figure out a way to fix it, hope it didn't land on the floor.
Artist license.
Take
So-
a backup. I don't
Yes,
know.
Oh my gosh.
So the third course is fondant
Yes,
for
fondant
classes.
and gum paste. Yes,
That
4
Okay.
classes for each course.
Okay. So what do you learn in that? How to
In-
make it for one?
Well, there is a recipe to make the fondant, but I've tried it a couple times, and I think it's a little bit more oily than what you buy in the store. So it could just be me, and I'm sure there's a better recipe out there than what I've tried. But I've tried a couple of them, and I think sometimes you're better off just to buy it, unless it's your business. And then, of course, you'd perfect it, and then I'm
Right.
sure you would have exactly right.
This is
But,
fondant. You
this
can
is
buy
fondant.
that in the store.
Yeah.
Like
You buy fondant and gum
any
paste, you roll
store?
it 50-50. You just mix it just like you would clay.
Oh.
And then you have different stampers that you would use, just like little cookie cutters. And you create, I should have brought it, you can do the calla lily, you can do the briar rose, you can do apple blossoms, you can do a lot of things. And the nice thing about any of these is that there's been a lot of thought into the details. And I think
Yes.
that's where real cake decorating comes in, is that you have real details that are not
Yes.
out. But
There's like little
that
petal
you have the
lines
little
that-
petal lines in there, that the leaves actually have the little marks or the veins that run through them.
Yes.
That you get as realistic as you can, so that people actually look at it and go, oh, at some point,
Yes.
that it actually stands out as
And
that.
before we go to the pictures, I've seen other people decorate cakes with pictures or airbrushing.
Yeah, I airbrush, and I actually have the sugar sheets that you print on.
Sugar sheets.
It's with the edible ink. Yeah,
Do you put, okay, that's not through my home printer.
probably
right.
not. You can use mine anytime. Anytime.
That's
It's
I
always
wasn't sure
open.
if
I
that was
actually
part of
don't
the
use it.
classes or not.
No, it isn't. Those will be
Okay.
different. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's go to some pictures of
Yes.
her work here. That's Disney.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
And this went with it.
Oh my goodness. That's beautiful. I bet that.
And I like having the extra colors in there. I think
Yeah.
that makes
What
it.
kind of, is this the,
gorgeous.
Those are royal leaves. See how
Okay.
stiff they are?
Right.
And then the back one is fondant with the candy pearls in the middle, and the rest of it is just buttercream. The roses themselves are buttercream.
Wow. Oh, they're gorgeous.
okay.
That is amazing. All the different kinds. Oh.
That's buttercream.
Buttercream and fondant.
And the
You
fondant's
see
on
how
the bottom.
yes, yep. And those will hold form forever too, and that's a mix there of them.
That I think looks pretty good. What's that icing, the yellow part?
Buttercream.
Okay. I kind of look lemony to me.
Yeah, no, it was a heavy vanilla buttercream.
How
That's
cool.
one of those naked cakes.
okay.
Yep, so you don't have all that icing.
Tracy, naked. My goodness.
Scandalous. Those are royal.
They
And you can
are.
With
tell
some
they'll
sprinkles.
stand with some sprinkles.
They are royal. That's cool. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those are little pine cones, right?
Almonds. Mm-hmm.
Almonds.
Almond slivers.
I know they're not pine cones.
Are you sure?
They look like pine cones.
Oh, well, we'll see.
And they were actually shoved into fudge. That's royal. That's the Wilton rose.
That's gorgeous. That's so gorgeous. I just want to eat it.
How was that applied? Is that
That is one of those
Drawn?
sugar sheets. And then
Okay.
we actually just freehanded her on there
with a brush or what?
with a marker. It's at a boink.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Yep.
I need to get me some of that stuff. I don't
Guess that's a
think.
wedding cake.
Yep.
What do you think about keeping your cake from one year to the next for your first anniversary?
I think that's a tradition that was started years ago.
And it's okay, and you won't die.
So it's
As long as you
all about
freeze it,
if
right?
you're,
Freeze it.
yeah, and you want to wrap it in plenty of wax paper before you start to decide you want to freeze it, or it's not going to taste very good.
Okay.
So then you're going to have
I
a
guess
bitter
this is a-
anniversary.
What did you call this?
Smash cake.
Okay.
Yeah, for the first year.
And that's for a baby. If you can't tell, then that's a high chair.
Yes, that's
Yep.
for the face plant.
Yep, that's
so-
the little baseball cake.
So cute.
There's a chicken.
And the
big
chicken.
chicken
With the
and
chickens.
the big one, and
What's
then
it, little
And then all the
chickies?
little nests.
nest.
Oh, nests. Okay.
Yeah, the chicken actually was a pound cake. It came from a shaped pan. So it would hold its form a little bit better.
How wonderful.
That's
Look at
fondant.
that.
That's all
That's
fondant. The succulents and the stained glass.
Such, you should take pictures of these, and then that would be artwork too.
Yeah.
Course
you
one.
think?
Okay, this
Mike will work
is the
something out
end
for-
of the first course
That,
that you
right.
teach.
Those are the ribbon roses and the leaves and a little border, one of the borders that you learn from course one.
Wow.
That's
Oh,
all
those are
fondant.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
it's
got a
covered
little
with
bit more
fondant. See how
texture.
smooth it is?
Yes.
So that's all, even the flowers are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's all fondant.
Look in that.
Now it looks
Oh
like a
my-
weaved basket on the side.
Yeah, out of
So
buttercream,
nice.
and then the top is fondant or
Gosh.
fondant, royal. Buttercream and royal, and then the butterflies are actually the wafer paper.
That's beautiful. Wow. You are so talented in so many ways, and this is just amazing.
It's something I really enjoy. I love to share.
That's wonderful.
It's fun.
So when you
Yes.
practice
relieving.
doing this, Who has to eat all the cakes?
We don't eat the cakes, we give them away.
Okay.
Actually, I belong to a club, and they did bingo, and part of their, they got sales from the food that they did, so we would actually donate.
Oh, okay.
That's wonderful.
So that we don't have to
That's
eat
not-
them.
that's why you
Not
don't
that
weigh
they're
300
good,
pounds.
but yes, we would eat them if they stayed at the house. So no chance of that. You give all that stuff away.
Yeah.
If you're in the near vicinity of the classes going on,
You can have those
you
too.
end up with a cake. 'Cause
Yes, you
we
do.
ended up with a cake, and it was so
Yes, because
good.
I don't take those things home.
That was
No way.
wonderful. Yes.
So what does a kit cost?
A kit,
You know.
if you're in the store, the kit is going to run you about $35. We sell them at cost at the Artisan Shop, so we
Okay.
charge $20.
And
it's
that's
40
bags
for
and
the
tips
class.
and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's bags, tips, all that stuff. Anything that you need for the course, like you said, with the exception of the mixer itself.
Can you use that same kit through all three? No, there's different ones
they're
for each?
different things, right? So that you have completely different skills separate from what you had before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the courses costing?
The course is $40, so whenever you get your kit, it's a full $60.
Okay.
But
and
you
that
can get your
goes
kit
for
from anywhere.
4 classes for
Four
that.
classes for every course.
And they last about 2 hours apiece.
Yes.
That's not bad.
No, and you could spend
It's a good time.
You could spend
We have fun.
Maybe if we were going to schedule it this way, you could get your certification after one day.
Yes, you could get your certificate after a day because if we can get it, all in that day,
Yes.
that would be fabulous.
Yes.
But do a 6-hour class from beginning to end?
Yes. And then have them send in their final.
That'd be so
I
awesome.
think it'll work.
I think so too.
And should you come to class with an idea or a
Well,
design or anything?
I bring books. You can, a lot of people Pinterest whenever, especially when they're
Oh,
ready to
right.
do their final cake. There are a lot of pins that are floating around, so that you
Mm-hmm.
can figure it out. But there are ideas in the books. So you get a full book with all the steps and all that, inside it and a bunch of sample pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't have to come with an idea.
That's wonderful.
But we will have to put that out there if we do
Yeah,
that all in a day.
Absolutely,
It's a
yes.
good idea.
Yay.
Yeah, that's a good long day.
It is.
Okay, so when's the first courses coming up?
Well,
We'll
we're
have 2 in September.
2 in September. We have 2 in September.
Courses or classes? Courses?
Courses. There will be 2 different
Courses.
courses. We'll do a buttercream course, and we're going to try to run it on Thursday nights because I had some requests for Thursday nights.
Okay.
And the other one will be a Saturday, probably late September.
Okay.
With school starting back and all that, it's probably not a
Right.
good time to.
Okay, so
Yeah.
check on the is it Gallia County Artisan Shop and Studio?
The Artisan Shop and Studio run by the Gallia County Artisan Market.
Right. Check that.
right.
Search that stuff on Facebook and find out about all their classes. Do you have a phone number or email address?
Yes, the email address is Gallia County Artisan Market at gmail.com. And the Facebook pages are the Artisan Shop and Studio or Gallia County Artisan Market. And we have an updated website, yay! And it's GalliaCountyArtisanMarket.com.
Okay.
So,
Great.
yes.
So check
Thank
that
you.
out and enroll in one of their many classes.
Yay!
So thanks for watching and eat your cake.